Lesson Sharp 9 Exercise Sharp 1 The practice of extended cosmic orbit. Introduction to the double. When the spirit separates a part from itself, the part comes into our world. Most people call this part the soul, but this is not quite true. Coming to our world, a part separated from the spirit is divided in two. One half connects with the energies of the mother and father, this is our soul. The second half that came to our world is a double, our mirror image. We are connected to it by energy in the same way as communicating vessels. Our organs are connected by energy channels with similar organs of the double. But the energy of the double is more pure, it is of high vibrations. He or she has a more transparent body, so we do not see it. The double has no gender, and we can see it in our dreams in any form, as a man or as a woman. The pure energy of the double is our energy reserve. When we get sick, the energy of the diseased organ changes and darkens. Even when the disease passes, the negative energy imprint will remain on the energy plan. Then the pure energy of the double goes down the channel, for example, from the lung of the double to our lungs, and displaces the negative energy. In turn, the reserve of the double is replenished by our energy. If we have a lot of negative energy, for example, when we are often ill, we give it to our double, and his vibrations decrease. From the double, the same low frequency energy, as heavier, goes back to us down. The extended cosmic orbit practice purifies both our energy and the energy of the double. It helps to strengthen our relationship with the double. If a person has a high level of energy relationship with a double, he can hear him and communicate with him. If the person has a lower level, he can communicate with the double with the help of a pendulum or make the pendulum with a body. Pendulum with the body, sit on the edge of a chair, not leaning on the back straight. Then we mentally ask the double a question and listen carefully to our feelings in order to feel what is happening. There should be a slight pressure on the top of the head forwards, backwards or to the right or left. These are the answers of the double in the pendulum. To check which response options correspond to our feelings, we say, will it be yes? Then feel where the body will swing. Then, will it be no? And we are trying to figure out where it will swing this time. This practice only works if the channels to the double are open and there is no parasite in the third dantian. According to the structure of the body, our energy centers are also connected to the double by channels. If a person's side channels from the lower dantian work well, then the first dantian works well. If the second dantian is connected to the double not only by the central channel, but also by the side channels, then the second dantian also works well and the person has the ability to empathy. If the side channels from the third dantian to the double work well, then the ability to perceive electromagnetic pulses and waves appears. This is manifested by inner vision and listening and intuitive knowledge. The extended cosmic orbit practice is performed based on the microcosmic orbit practice, lesson sharp 1. To connect with the double, we need to expand the microcosmic orbit vertically, including the double itself in the trajectory. The double is activated with the legs, because it has a cleaner energy. In contrast to us, when the movement of the ball is only on the body, on the perineum, the double trajectory reaches the feet, passes through them and returns to the front of the body back. First part of the practice. Perform a microcosmic orbit. Main position, standing or sitting. Hands on the lower dantian. The tip of the tongue rests against the palate behind the upper teeth. Phase 1. We present a red ball the size of a tennis ball in the lower dantian. If the dantian is located below the navel, more often in women than in men, imagine how the red ball rises up to the navel. Put your hands on the lower dantian and slowly raise them to the navel, imagining how this ball rises. If the dantian is located just behind the navel, usually in men, the ball is not raised. Second stage. Imagine how the red ball is half out of the body to our hands, now it is under our hands. Mentally send it down to the point of hWhen and compress the anus, so that the energy does not go away. 1. Inhale, the head is tilted back, to make the ball easier to pass through the points of the outpost, where the energy does not pass well, the ball is moving up towards the crown. 2. Exhale, the head is lowered to extend the trajectory of the ball moves down to the point of hWhen. Perform 10 times. For the last time, we raise the ball to the back of the head and hold it with our consciousness at this point. Second part of the practice. 1. Imagine the double above us. It is as if we have a mirror just above our head and our reflection is in it. 2. Mentally send the red ball in a straight line up to the feet of our double. Pause. If you can imagine how the ball goes from the back of the head to the back of the double, your reflection, and then goes down his back to the feet, imagine. As a rule, this is easy for people of an artistic mindset who are used to working with images. But this is not necessary. You can simplify the image, just give the energy the order to move up, from point A to point B, from the point on the back of our head to the feet of the double, and the energy itself will find its way to the specified point. Choose the method that is more convenient and does not cause difficulties. 3. The red ball goes through the double's feet to the tips of the toes and down to the center points on our forehead. 4. Mentally send the red ball down to the point hWhen, compress the anus. 5. Again, send the red ball up to the feet of the double. As a result, we get the following. 1. The ball in our point hWhen, we compress the anus. 2. Inhale, the head is tilted back, to make the ball easier to pass through the channel through the points of the outpost, where the energy does not pass well. The ball moves up the back, in a straight line to the feet of our double. 3. Exhale, the head is lowered to extend the trajectory of the ball from the feet of the double. The ball moves down the front of the body and further, to our point of hWhen. This is the extended cosmic orbit. We perform the practice for 30-40 minutes. At first, when performing the practice, there may be a feeling that the ball goes up, and it is not clear what is happening to it, whether there is a double there or not. This happens because of a lack of energy, because the expanded cosmic orbit has not yet been worked out. There is now a gray energy, and in the very center of it, a thin thread of fresh energy. That's why the double has not yet appeared. Over time, as you gain more energy, you will begin to feel and see your double. If there are still no sensations, you can practice through the phantom. If you do not feel your double, the ball may deviate to the sides. To avoid this, we send the ball up only in a straight line, clearly imagining that it is moving to the feet of the double, through the feet and back to us. Sometimes there are people with structural changes, the double is shifted to one side, forward or backward. This is the result of an energy strike, and it's possible to see the remaining dark energy in the place where it was struck. Unfortunately, most people get hit like this when they are young, when they are yelled at by adults. In comparison with adults, the energy structure of the child is weaker and it cannot withstand the strong flow of negative energy poured onto him. If you suddenly find at yourself the offset of the double, you need to breathe through the area from which it was displaced. For example, the double is displaced backward, and there is a clot of dark energy in front, and then perform the extended cosmic orbit practice. Over time, you may feel that the ball has changed its color. First it will turn white, and then, at a high level of processing of the extended orbit, gold. When the ball turns golden, performing the tree practice, both basic and in conjunction with the energies of the planets, we extend our ball/hoop not to the hands, but to a distance of 300 meters. And the hoop will not be red, but gold. At the same time, the lower dantian will work better, the energy will become denser, and its vibrations will increase. The golden one corresponds to high vibrations. This is a completely different level of energy. Final part of the practice. On the last movement of the ball down, we stop the ball at the level of the hands and wait until all the energy that was in our orbit is in the hands. When we have collected all the energy, we lightly press on the stomach, sending the ball inside the body. Men who have a dandion in the center of the body behind the navel can imagine the ball shrinking in the dandion until it becomes a small luminous point. Women and all who have a dandion below the navel send the ball to the center of the body at the level of the hands, and then slowly lower their palms on the surface of the body to the lower dandion, while imagining how the ball descends to the lower dandion in the center. When the ball is in the lower dandion, imagine how it shrinks and turns into a small luminous point. Write in the comments if you like the practice. Subscribe to the channel, put a like. All good mood and bye.